Mysterious lights and silver-suited figures invade a farm in Mexico, an alien-looking entity stares out at a hiker from a cave in Thailand, and leaked footage from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base shows tall humanoid creatures walking through a field with security nearby. All of this and much, much more, these are even more mysterious beings not from Earth caught on camera. This first video comes from a farmer in Mexico. He'd been seeing odd lights in the sky close to his property, but one night he heard rustling in the bushes outside. When he went out to investigate, he captured this on camera. It's this humanoid figure in a silver jumpsuit. After that one retreats to the shadows, he spots another too. He keeps calling out to the silver-suited figures, asking who they are. But when he runs up to get a closer look, they just vanish into the brush. And this was just one video from this farmer. Over a 4-year period, he captured more mysterious figures on camera, as well as odd lights in the sky. And here's another video captured by this farmer and one of his friends. This time, more than one of these odd entities shows up on camera at the same time. They'd heard strange sounds in the sky, a low humming noise, so they stepped outside to see what was up, and that's when they apparently saw 3 orbs crash into a field. When they went out to investigate, they spotted these 2 things standing in a shallow dip in the ground. What some alien fanatics have pointed out in the comments is that the beings resemble descriptions of alien entities known as Archons. In modern alien conspiracy theories, Archons are usually described as tall humanoids with smooth blue skin. The farmer said these things were roughly 6 to 7 feet tall. So what do you make of these videos though? Share your thoughts down in the comments. Now, supposedly, this black and white footage was captured at the site of the Roswell crash, but was kept secret until it was leaked about 8 years ago. We see footage of an alien entity lying in the sand, the assumption being it was injured in the crash, and we also see a group of alien entities in black jumpsuits walking about. It's some pretty outlandish video, and I gotta be honest and say I think there's a good chance this is fake, but at the same time, who's to say for sure? Why wouldn't the footage be pulled from the internet if they wanted it kept secret though? Well, maybe they figured people would just find it ridiculous and not believe it. Taking the footage down would just make people more suspicious than it would if they just let it sit on YouTube. I don't know, just throwing out some ideas here. This next video was apparently captured somewhere in the Havari Valley in Brazil back in 2022. Locals chased this large creature out of their village, which retreated into the trees, and then it vanished, at least partially. The villagers looked up to see this shape moving through the trees, and the best way I can describe it is it looks cloaked, a bit like the alien creature in Predator. If you've been watching the other videos in this series though, you know how often Brazil has come up. Not really sure what it is about this country, but it seems to be a hotbed for alien activity. If you gave me 5 seconds to draw an extraterrestrial, it'd pretty much look exactly like this. Imagine hiking through the forests of Thailand when you notice something staring back at you from the darkness of a cave. That's exactly what one hiker claimed happened after spotting what looked like a strange face peeking out from the entrance. And it was so far away, he couldn't really tell what he was looking at, so he pulled out his camera and zoomed in. The figure looked eerily similar to your classic gray alien that's been reported in UFO stories for decades. Oversized bald head, large dark eyes, and of course, pale gray skin. This next clip is said to have been leaked from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and supposedly dates back to 1995. Patterson Air Force Base has been tied to UFO rumors for years. So we see these tall humanoid figures walking across an open field. They're moving around slowly, almost casually. There's also what looks like security personnel walking among them. Now, a ton of stories surrounding this base trace back to Roswell in 1947. With the claim being that whatever crashed there got hauled off to Wright-Patterson for the military to pick apart and study. Some also say there are secret hangars or underground areas where they're supposedly keeping recovered craft as well as alien beings. The base also gets tied into Project Blue Book, which was a real Air Force program that looked into UFO sightings from 1952 until it got shut down in 1969. But there's been a theory floating around ever since the program shut down. The Blue Book was just the public-facing show, for lack of a better term. A part the government let everyone see, while the real investigation kept going behind the scenes under different names after it officially ended. Now this is a very bizarre clip, comes out of southern Venezuela. On a hillside, there's some sort of animal moving on all fours. It's hard to get a clear read on it, but it looks dark, hairy, and low to the ground. It moves slowly across the slope, almost like it's searching or pacing without a clear direction. But that's not even the weirdest part, because right next to it, there's a second shape. It looks like a floating object hovering close to the ground, slowly spinning in place. The surface is highly reflective. Now, the video's been shared around a lot, so I couldn't find the original upload, but the description in almost every version reads something like this. Video of an interdimensional being with a strange animal has been captured in a village in southern Venezuela. So make of that what you will, I guess. What are your thoughts on this one though? Let us know down below. We've had a lot of your classic grays in this video series. I believe this is the first piece of reptilian footage. I'll get more into reptilians in a sec, but first, let's check this video out. Story goes, the video was filmed by an elderly woman years ago after she started noticing strange things happening around her property. Livestock was going missing, pets were disappearing, things she couldn't really explain either. Supposedly, she'd also seen something she described as a very tall lizard man skulking around, sometimes slipping in through a ditch near the edge of the property. After telling her son about it, he told her to start recording if it ever showed up again. So one day, when she noticed movement outside, she grabbed her camera and filmed what she saw. In the footage, you do see this tall humanoid figure with a lizard-like appearance. The video was captured before AI-generated video became a thing. It doesn't look like CGI to me either. Not saying that proves the video is genuine. I mean, this could totally be a dude in a suit, but hey, these days, that level of effort, it goes a long way for me. But I used the word reptilian before. I'm gonna guess most of you watching are familiar with the term in the context of extraterrestrial lore, but for those not in the know, reptilians are basically described in UFO lore as tall humanoid beings with, you guessed it, a reptile look to them. They're usually framed as intelligent beings that have actually been living on Earth for a long time, but know how to stay hidden. That's where you get claims about them disguising themselves as powerful politicians or celebrities. And finally, these photos are pretty well known and cryptid in UFO circles. And sure, at first glance, kind of just looks like someone wandering around wrapped in aluminum foil, but it's the story behind the pictures that's kept people talking for decades. So on October 17th, 1973, Police Chief Jeff Greenhaw responded to a report of a possible spaceship landing in a field near Falkville, Alabama. And he wasn't someone who really believed in this sort of thing, but when he arrived at the scene, he described seeing something he just couldn't wrap his head around. According to Greenhaw, there was this strange human-like figure covered in a thick, shiny material that reminded him of aluminum foil. It had a smooth, reflective surface that almost seemed to glow in the light. Its body looked unusual, too. There didn't seem to be a distinct neck. The head appeared to blend straight into the shoulders, and he noticed what looked like an antenna sticking out from the top of its head. What really unsettled him, though, was the way it moved. Greenhaw said it didn't walk like a person. Its movements were stiff and jerky, almost mechanical, like it was trying to copy human movement without quite getting it right. And then it suddenly sped away at incredible speed, covering a huge distance in just a few seconds. Greenhaw jumped into his vehicle and chased after it, but somehow he couldn't catch up. Before it disappeared, he managed to take the Polaroid photos that would later become famous, though. The pictures themselves didn't really do much to convince skeptics. If anything, they gave people even more reason to dismiss the story. To say Greenhaw was ridiculed for his account would be an understatement. Within a few months, he'd lost his job and his marriage, and his house also burned down, just the cherry on top. If the whole thing really was a hoax, it certainly didn't bring him any obvious benefit. But with all that said, it's been the video, and I'll catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.